It's nice to hear you talk about, your wife and that sort of the process. Because when I went to your website, I don't think you knew the picture was up there, but it's you two laughing together. So it's sort of right. The first thing people see is sort of you and your wife together and looking like you're having fun. And so it sort of stood out to me seeing that. And then so now we're here. You've got the first pub, you've got the construction company. It took 18 months. Did she suggest the second, third, and fourth pub, or did you suggest the second, third, and fourth pub?
I did, but I think when she seen that we were operating Donnellan's, it was going pretty well. That that was a bit of comfort,
Mm,
that it wasn't as nerve-wracking, I guess, second time around. We had
right.
the template, we kind of knew how things were operating, and we it was in 2019. I approached the owner of a location down in English Bay.
Mm,
It used to be called Shamrock Alley. It's called Shamrock Bar and Grill now. And it was a great little place, a little Irish snug, we call it. So like a
mm.
small little Irish pub, and great community, neighborhood pub. Great people around there, great customers. And it it was just a place that I liked to frequent myself, and it had that had little Irish twist to it. And I always said, someday maybe I'll own that. So I talked to the owner. He was Eastern European, and he said it's not for sale, you know. So I was joking with him. I said, sure, everything is for sale, at the right price. And he was like, no, 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 I'm not interested in selling. So, but if you ever change your mind, so I kept on to him, and we'd meet every now and again for a coffee and a chat. And um, eventually he said, you know what, I'm ready to retire and I'm willing to sell.
Mm.
So, but he said, I've got a couple of partners and I'm going to have to talk to them and I have to figure things out. It might take a while, but it all happened in December 2019. 1st of December 2019, we took over Shamrock Bar and Grill, and the place just exploded. We done a renovation, brought in some new staff, changed the menu, and it just took off. Shortly after that, things shut down, unfortunately, but we were doing so well, we weren't entitled to get any subsidies.
So
We
this is everybody knows the period of time we're talking about. This is everything. Like people can't go into bars and restaurants. It's just everything. And
That's
this is
right.
all. This is all. Well, I mean, you're not a takeout place.
No,
That place.
but thankfully, there were some adjustments made to the regulations here, and we were allowed to do
Mhm.
takeout. And we're in such a great location; they're close to the beach, so
Right.
we could do a bit of
Which
takeout.
is where everybody could actually go. Is
Yeah,
places like the beach. Yeah.
exactly. So it was a tough time, no doubt about it. But uh, we we continued to ride the wave, and we made more money during that period than the previous owner made before that.
Mm.
So we weren't entitled to any subsidies, but at least we were heading in the right direction.
Did some of that stay? Now that like that takeout menu that you developed and that did that now that things have come back, has that now added on and that people can come back, but you're still can like, or did you go back to the original business model?
We more or less went back to the original business model, but we still offer takeout, and some
Mhm.
people do come in. We do little picnic boxes where
Mm,
you can buy a little picnic box for two, and you can get a couple of cans of beer
right.
and a sandwich and a few bags of crisps,
Yeah.
maybe a bar of chocolate.
Yeah.
And people enjoy that. They come in, they grab a picnic box, they go to the
Yeah.
beach.
Yeah. Yeah. And then okay, so now you're up to two. Now number three.
Number three, yeah, where we're sitting right now, Smiths of Gastown. So we purchased this location from Sean Heather. So it used to be the Irish Heather, which
Mm.
is a very famous location. I think it's been in Gastown for 23 years, I think, and at this location maybe for 18. And now it's in Chinatown. But we purchased this from Sean about a year and a half ago, and done a big renovation as well. Uh, During that time, it was a very it was business was slow. We were shut down, and then we were open, then we were shut down again. But Sean,
You have a little buy low, sell high
yes,
mentality.
yes. So yeah, people were saying to me, "You're crazy. You're
Yeah.
you know you're getting into pubs when they're being shut down. Are you sure you're doing the right thing here?" But there were great opportunities,
Hmm.
you know, and I said to my wife, you know, I'm thinking of purchasing the Irish Heather off Sean in Gastown. And what do you think of that? And she said, well, it's a beautiful place, great location, you know, um, it's got a lot going for it. So she agreed, you know, let's do it. So here we are, number 3. And we done the deal. We done quite a substantial renovation, and we opened our doors a little over a year ago, and it's been doing really well. Gastown was hit very hard. There's no doubt about it. A lot of the cruise ships had stopped. There's something like 273 cruise ships come in here each year, and I believe each of them leave about $3 million to the local neighborhood here, the local communities and businesses and hotels and stuff like that. So to not have that for a couple of years was very, very tough.
Yeah.
And a lot of the local businesses really struggled. But it's nice to see that it's bouncing back now. The cruise ships are back. It's pretty vibrant out there, but we still have a small little bit to go. You know, it's not back to where it was. It may be at 75%, 80%, but it's still got a ways to go.
So this room we're sitting in, though, this is called, oh, sorry, the name of the main pub is Smith's, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and that's sort of tied to your mother's name,
Yes,
right?
yes. So my mum's maiden name was Smith. So they were in the hospitality, as I said. So this is the 3rd Smiths in 3 generations, actually.
Wow.
My grandfather, my uncle, and now myself.
That's awesome.
But the first 2 were in Ireland, in Dublin.
Wow.
Yeah, so it means a lot to us, and we don't really get into projects anymore unless, you know, we have that personal connection,
Right.
because life is short, and I'm a big believer in, you know, don't get into it unless you're going to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it and you're not having fun, it's very hard to make it successful. You know, you're not going to give it 100%, and if you don't give a new business 100%, there's a good chance that it won't work out.
Yeah, and then other things that you're tied up in can also start to suffer if you're not enjoying it. And yeah, it all sort of has to mesh together.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? One of our biggest strengths is the fact that we have the construction leg as well.
Yeah,
you know?
that must be huge.
Yeah, so we got pubs, but when we take over new locations, we're not now trying to engage a contractor who's going to say, you know, well, I can't do anything for 6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
And now you're paying all this rent.
Double and over budget and
Yes,
under time.
exactly.
And all
So
that.
at least we can start, we can do it at cost. We can start our design process, and we can get the ball rolling.
Like few little changes
immediately
doesn't disrupt
after
the entire project when you
Yes.
go, oh, we got to do this. So the table
Yes.
needs to be a little bit out here.
Yeah.
You know.
We like to move quickly,
Mhm.
and because time is money, you know, so we like to move quickly, and to be able to make those decisions quickly, it saves you a lot of money, especially when you're building out pubs.
Mhm. And then what's this room we're sitting in here right now? This is the Forge.
That's correct.
Now it's attached to Smith. So
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a hidden cocktail whiskey bar out the back of Smith's. It used to be old stables, actually. These are real old stables. that have
that's
been
what
here.
this room is?
Yes, there were stables one time, a long time ago.
Wow.
And then people would probably know it as the Shebeen. So at the back of the Irish Heather, there was a very famous whiskey bar. It was the #1 whiskey bar in Vancouver, actually, and it was called the Shebeen. And that's the room we're sitting in right now, and we rebranded it and we call it the Forge. And it's a very, very
Which is a
popular.
great name. One of my
Yeah.
favorite names.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. It's very popular. Conor McGregor has a bar called the Forge now, but we named ours before his, so just getting that out there.
Just getting that out there. Good.
He has one called the Forge in Dublin, but we rebranded, renovated the space, and it's doing really, really well. A lot of private parties here, birthday parties, you know, staff events, Christmas parties, corporate events. Yeah, so it's, as you know, as you can see, it's a beautiful space. It's a good size, and people just love it, and they like the fact that it's hidden out the back. It's kind of exclusive.
Oh, you walk in here and you're like, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
it's
nobody
that
really
type of
knows
place.
it's here. Yeah, it's a really cool place.